Welcome everyone. Let's begin our lesson for today by going over the learning goals and success criteria. First, what are we learning? We're learning how to write functions in multiple ways and recognize function notation, how to recognize patterns in functions to determine whether or not those functions are linear, how to recognize coordinates in terms of x values and y values, how to plot points on the coordinate plane, how to recognize patterns in the graphs of linear functions, how to determine how the slope and y-intercept will affect the graph of a linear function, how to find a function value of a linear function, how to find the slope and y-intercept of a function from an equation, how to take linear functions that are not written in slope-intercept form and convert them to slope-intercept form, how to graph linear functions using slope and y-intercept, how to manipulate the slope and y-intercept to change the steepness and location of a graph to suit the needs of a question, how to recognize practical applications of mathematics within your areas of interest, such as basketball, how to find the y-intercept of a linear function given the slope and a point on the line, how to find the equation of a line given the slope and a point on the line, how to comprehend and utilize the inequality symbols, how to graph an inequality on a number line, how to graph a compound inequality on a number line, how to graph linear inequalities using slope and y-intercept, and how to use the correct line and shading for graphs of inequalities. How are we learning it? Through the Systems of Equations MYP assessment assignment. When could I use this information? To recognize patterns in your spending so that you can figure out how to save up enough money to buy a car, to determine the location of appliances, furniture, and walls when planning to remodel your house, to determine how long it would take to save up enough money for a down payment on a car, to calculate the amount of money in a savings account, to change the appearance of difficult tasks so that it looks more like something you are used to seeing, such as changing your grocery list into a list based on the aisles where you will find the items, to improve your ability to read between the lines and fill in gaps that you are not given, such as putting together a bookcase with directions that are incomplete, and to determine which scores you can receive on your final exam that will allow you to pass the course. How do you know you learned it? By getting a score of 4 on the Systems of Equations MYP assessment assignment. Now let's take a look at our agenda for today. We will begin by going over the learning goals and success criteria. After that, we'll do our weekly raffle. Next, we'll do our weekly raffle. After that, I'll give you time to complete the Systems of Equations MYP assessment assignment on Desmos. At the end of class, we'll go back over our learning goals and success criteria while you fill out your before you go. Your only homework for tonight is to work on any incomplete assignments that you may have. Let's talk now about how to sign in to Desmos to complete your work. So what we're going to do is you're going to click on the link to go to the assignment, and it should take you to a page that looks kind of like this. And right here where it says sign in with Google, we're going to click there. And it's going to pop up with our email accounts. You're going to click on your school email account, and it should already have you logged in because you should have already been logged in using Google Classroom. From there, I'm just going to click start the activity, and it will take me into the assignment and allow me to begin. So that's how you will log in to Desmos using Google. Let's take a look now at the Systems of Equations MYP assessment. The assignment begins with our learning goals and success criteria. If we scroll down, there's a link here to the Desmos activity. Go ahead and click on that link, and it should take you to a page that looks like this. We'll go ahead and click Start the Activity. The activity begins with the learning goals and success criteria. We'll go ahead and click Next. Now here we see the instructions. It says that you can use a calculator. Everything that needs to be rounded to 3 decimal places. And essentially make sure all your answers are put into the appropriate boxes. So we'll go ahead and click Next. And it gives us our first few questions. The first one says, given the line y equals 1/2 x minus 4, answer the following questions. So it says state the number of solutions that exist. So you're going to state how many solutions exist with this equation and this one. And then you'll do that for each of the questions. And make sure that you justify your answer, so state how you know that's to be true. And we'll click Next. And it says solve the system of equations to the right, so it gives you a system here. So first thing you're going to do is state what the most appropriate method is. So you'll put that here and then state why that's the most appropriate method. Then here you're going to answer for both x and y, and you'll put it in coordinate form. So you'll have, for instance, x is 2 and y is 4, something like that. So it should look like that. Then you'll do it again for this system, and then you'll click Next. The next one says a clerk earns $125 per day plus a commission equal to 10% of her sales. The clerk earns less than $180 on Monday, enter an inequality that represents all the possible values for the clerk's sales. So you're going to write this as an inequality based on the information that was given. Then we'll click next again. Now this one has a graph here that represents the amount of money that you're bringing in through your restaurant and the amount of money that you're putting out as a cost of production for your restaurant. And then you'll answer the questions here. Then we'll click next. This one talks about a plumbing issue that costs money to repair. So you'll go ahead and answer these questions about that. And then once you're done, you'll go back to your Google form and click next. This will take you to your before you go. Go ahead and fill out your before you go and then submit your work on Google Classroom.